everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, Shine Bright. So thank you so much for tuning in once again, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi everybody, welcome to Shine Bright, a beacon of light that brings people to Christ. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel once again. If you're new, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel for future videos. If you're not new, if this is like your numerous time being here, thanks for coming and welcome back. This thing is really difficult for me to share, but if it can help somebody else, and I think that's what being a Christian is all about, sharing those testimonies, sharing those trials that you went through that actually turned into those testimonies. I think that's really beautiful because that can help somebody else out and deliver them and, allow them to experience Jesus in their situation. So this is kind of why I haven't been posting a little bit and me procrastinating once again, honestly speaking, but it's had a lot to do with it at first. I was dealing with this since the beginning of the year, but I didn't realize that as I was going through my healing process in this situation, that God was going to use me to say it on here to you guys. So only a handful of people know that my husband and I experienced a miscarriage earlier this year. It was something that obviously is devastating and just very disappointing for any couple or woman to go through. I found out I was pregnant in January, and then early February, at the beginning of February, I went to my doctor's appointment and found out that I had lost our child. It was really, really difficult for me. I'm sure people can imagine, but what I realized too, what really stood out to me was that this was something that's not talked about, and I didn't realize how common it was. When I was going through it, I felt alone. No matter how common it was, I felt really alone, and it was something that, one, you don't even think that can happen to you. You don't expect that to be like, the norm, although how common it is, you don't expect that to be your norm. That was one thing, and just being emotionally distant from God, because y'all, I'm just being honest and transparent. Like, I did not want to talk to God. I was upset. I was hurt. I was frustrated. Like, my mental state wasn't okay, because it's like, here I am. I'm serving you. I'm praising your name, and I tithe. Like, I go to church. I'm faithful. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I still have a lot of areas, guys. Like, a lot of areas where I need to work on. But I said that I'm saved. Like, you think when stuff happened to you, you don't think it should happen to you because you're saved, when that's not the case at all. It was just different for me to even experience that for myself, because it was kind of like I had like an outer body experience a little bit, like seeing myself in that state versus how I normally am was completely two different people. And that scared me. Knowing that the place that I was in, and you don't even have to go through a miscarriage or just any type of loss or any type of trial or tribulation that is happening in your life currently, that God can heal you from it. Anything that you think is beyond your control, you're absolutely right, because you have to give it to God. He can control every single thing that's going on in your life and turn it around for your good. Our good is to help somebody else who's been through it, because it's a hard thing. Mentally speaking, that's a hard thing to go through. But if somebody else is going through a loss or a miscarriage or something like that, like, to tell you where God brought me from. And that was just the beginning of this year. And now I'm finally at the point where I can talk about it and I can be strong and accept the fact that, hey, that happened, but it doesn't define who I am. God completely healed my pain, my hurt. Yes, I still want to be a mom. Yes, I still want to have that experience of being pregnant. And I will, when that time comes for me and my husband to have a kid again. I'm all for it. But now that I went through that, and I can look back and see where God had brought me from, and I know that's so churchy, but it's so true. Like, where I was before to where I am now, like, God completely did a 360, and I'm so grateful for his love and affection. Even when I was mad at him, even when I didn't want to talk to him, he still used other people, like prayers. I did not want to hear it. Like, anytime when you're going through something, you don't want to hear what somebody else has to say, especially if it's what you need to hear. But God knew that it was what I needed to hear, and He gave me that time. He gave me that time to be like, okay, I'm gonna let you be in your moment, but this is also what I need you to hear. I knew it came from God, but He just used people in my life, my loved ones, my family, like my friends, who really just ministered to me. Even when I didn't realize I was being ministered to. Share your testimony, like, to be able to be transparent with other people, because you don't know what other people are going through and maybe going through the same thing that you are. So it's really important to, when you have the courage in your timing, because everybody has a different process, but it's really important to just get that strength. Ask God to give you that strength to be able to share your testimony, to minister to other people, because we're all trying to get this living right, being a Christian thing right. And we're going to fall short. It's going to happen. But God is there to redeem us. He's there to forgive us. But we just have to continue to strive for being, a better Christian or a better person, and helping our brothers and sisters, because that's what it's all about. It's not about judging anybody. It's not about doing stuff for likes. It's not about that, because at the end of the day, when you're struggling and you're suffering and you don't have nobody else to turn to, that's hard. You can be in a crowd of people but feel so lonely. Like, God doesn't want that for us, and I don't want that for you. Showing people that you don't have to be stuck where you were before. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can experience that as long as you just continue to push through. It's gonna be okay. If you gotta cry, you go ahead and cry, but do what works for you. But always remember that God is there. He's never gonna leave you nor forsake you. That's what His word says. You don't have to do anything on your own. He is with you every step of the way. So be encouraged. Know that you are gonna come out of this looking like gold. Okay. Nobody gonna be able to tell what you've been through. Like, you couldn't tell that I went through a miscarriage. Only a handful of people know that that's what me and my husband experienced. But I'm just here to tell you that God is the healer. He moved me past my circumstance and my situation. And then one of these days, I'm gonna be a mom. And I'm just stepping out on faith and believing God for it. So I love you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.